What's up, riders? It's Jim from Caledonia Keys. As a motorcycle instructor, I get asked all the time what gear people need to buy before they do their initial motorcycle licensing course. Now, there are a few things you need to take into consideration when you're getting into the sport. One of them, of course, being the cost of your motorcycle. But don't forget the cost of your insurance and what we're going to talk about in this video, which is your gear. Now, all that gear is going to add up fast. So are there some ways to save some money? In this video, we're going to cover the standard gear you should be looking at purchasing, along with a couple ways you can save some money without compromising on quality. So let's get to it. So you may have heard that motorcycling is an expensive hobby, and I'm not going to agree with or dispute that point in this video. What I am going to do is offer you some points and, yes, opinions about what gear you should be starting out with to stay both legal and, even more importantly, staying safe. Boots. So ideally, what you want are a good set of leather boots designed for riding. You could get away with a good set of hiking boots, preferably leather, as long as they're going to cover your ankle in particular. When I'm teaching, I typically wear the same boots that a lot of EMS personnel wear. They're leather and they cover the ankle, so I'm well protected, but I do find the toes a little bit fat, so I don't like riding with them so much on my cruiser. There isn't a whole lot of space to shift. That said, on a regular bike with standard pegs, they work just fine. Now, when you go to the bike shop and you pick a pair of motorcycle boots, I've also seen where, in particular, some of the ladies will buy high-heeled motorcycle boots. Just because your boots say Harley on them doesn't mean they're good for riding, okay? We've actually had people come in with these style of high-heel boots, and by the middle of the first day, they're going to purchase another pair because they just can't move their foot and shift properly. So keep that in mind. The other thing you don't want to ride with are running shoes or sandals. It's pretty self-evident what's going to happen if you ever have a crash with sandals on. But even with running shoes, they're not designed to protect and stay on your feet in the event of a crash. Pants. When it comes to pants, the bare minimum here is a good pair of jeans. And that's minus the air conditioning that's ever so stylish these days. So you want not the stretchy jeans, but regular denim jeans. No holes with full coverage. If you want to upgrade your safety a little bit, you can go with rider-specific jeans. So these are often designed, they may be lined with Kevlar, and they often have armor that you'll find in the knees and the hips. So it'll also take a little bit of an impact should you go down in the event of a crash. Another alternative would be rider pants. So rider pants are something that you would put on over top of whatever pants you're wearing. And again, they're going to come with armor. So you'll have armor in your knees and the hips to absorb some of that impact. Some people, if they want to go leather, they may go with some chaps that they might wear over some jeans. Either way, leather, textile, you should be good to go. Jacket. So generally what you're going to want is you're going to want a motorcycle specific textile or leather jacket. So something that is made specifically for riding. A lot of times these jackets have some armor built into the shoulders and the elbows and your back. So they'll help take a little bit of impact in the event that you go down. Now, textile jackets are generally a little bit cooler, so you may find them a little bit more comfortable, but a leather jacket is going to last far more in the event of a slide. Now, some of the things that you may see with leather jackets, there are some that are perforated to make them a little bit cooler. Frankly, I've had both, and I tend to favor the leather, but that's just a personal opinion. Now, when you do your course, you should check with the instructors. A lot of times they will say you can go to the course and wear a denim jacket, so a jean jacket. Again, I don't really recommend it long term. That may sound funny considering I told you earlier that I tend to favor wearing jeans, but when it comes to the jacket, I like to have a little bit more protection. There's some more vital organs up here that I'm looking to protect, and so I'm going to go with either a motorcycle textile or leather jacket. Now, there are also some specialty jackets out there, and if you hang on to the end of the video, I'll touch on those a little bit. We could actually do a whole video on them. And those would be, but just starting out, go with a good textile leather jacket and you should be good to go. Gloves. Now when it comes to gloves, one of the key things we're looking for here is leather. It's a natural human instinct when we fall, we tend to put our hands out. And when you consider how many small bones we have in these hands and how much we rely on them for day-to-day living, it's really important to protect them. Now, when you buy your gloves, make sure that they are covering your wrist bone, okay? And when you go into the bike shop, you will see some other gloves for riding that aren't leather and are more designed for off-road or dirt bike riding. They may be great for riding where you're going to fall in a little bit of gravel and grass, but when it comes to street riding and landing on the asphalt doing over 80 kilometers an hour, well, that road's going to chew through those puppies faster than a belt sander on a block of cheese. Helmet. Arguably, the most important piece of gear that you can purchase is your helmet. And it's the one piece of gear that is required for you to stay legal in most states and provinces. I know that not all states have helmet laws, but I'd hope you value that gray matter between your ears more than just the threat of a citation. The minimum standard for a helmet in North America is DOT approved. There are other safety standards that level up your safety a little bit, including ECE, SNELL, and the holy grail of safety standards, FIM. I'm not going to get into those too much in this video, but I will leave a link to another video should you want to dig into the various types of helmets and their associated safety ratings. As for opinions, other than wearing a helmet, I recommend either a full-faced or a modular helmet. Something that's going to save your face from flying debris or your face in the event of a crash where you're face down in the asphalt. So all this gear really adds up fast. So what can we do to cut down on the cost of all this gear without compromising on quality? Well, there are a couple things. Buy used where you can. You'd be surprised how many people get into riding, they buy all this top-of-the-line gear, and they never ride. So if you check the classifieds, you may find a jacket, and yes, boots, and gloves, all at a fraction of the price of new. Now, the one thing I would not recommend buying used is a helmet, okay? When it comes to a helmet, you want to make sure that that hasn't been compromised because helmets are a one-time use product. The other thing you can do is buy your gear in the off-season. So a lot of times, come late fall or throughout the winter, you're going to find fantastic gears, both at your local bike shop and online retailers like Fort9. So take advantage of buying during those times when inventory isn't moving that quickly. You'll be surprised how much you'll save. All right, so I'm going to talk about one piece of bonus gear that we don't see out on the road a lot. And yet when you really think about it, it could really save you big time in the event of a high-impact crash. And that's an airbag. Now, airbags come in a few different flavors. Some manufacturers create motorcycle jackets that are specifically designed to fit an airbag inside them. And then there are the standalone airbag vests, which you can wear over top of your jacket. Now, I'm not going to get too much into airbags at this point, but let me know if you think it would be an interesting topic for a future video. I am going to leave a link to a video in particular where a gentleman did use his airbag, and something that could have been otherwise fatal, he walked away with barely a scratch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I'd love to hear in the comments some of the gear that you've purchased or you're planning to purchase. Until then, keep the shiny side up and ride on.